All right, welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm going to show you guys how to make the worm gear mechanism outlined in activity 4.1.4, modeling mechanical motion. So that's this one all the way down here. There's just going to be a couple of differences between what they tell you to do here and what we're actually going to do in Onshape. But what we do need is an 8x pitch shaft, a 2x2 beam, 4x4 plate, a 4x pitch shaft, a 36 tooth spur gear, and then of course our worm gear there, and our corner connectors and connecting pins. So there's a lot of parts in this, as you can see here. I'm going to kind of jump back and forth between what I've got here and my blank assembly to reference some of the positions. This one's a little bit tricky, but just bear with me as we work through this. So first thing first, we're going to start by inserting all of our parts. So I'm going to go to Insert, Other Documents, and I'm going to look at my Vex IQ parts. So I know I need a 2x2 beam. I need two of those. So I'm going to place two of these into my workspace. I know that I need a, what did they say, a 4x plate? Is that what it was? On a 4x4 plate. Move this over here. So find my 4x4. So that's this guy here. I need a couple of shafts, so I'll add those in, and I'm just going to use our plastic shaft. And the shafts that it tells me are a 4x pitch and an 8x pitch. So I will add my shafts in. Did not configure that one, but that's okay. I can do it in a second. Oh, I'm gonna need to go with my standard shaft because I'll be able to get my 8x pitch on that one. So I'll have my 8x pitch and my 4x pitch. Next, I need a gear. So I'm gonna need to add my 36 tooth gear, and I need where's my worm gear? Here's my worm gear. I need my worm gear. I need my corner connectors, and they specify these 2x wide 1x2s. 2x wide, 1x2, right? Isn't that what it says? 2x wide, 1x2. Yep. 2x wide, 1x2. I'm going to need two of those. And the last part that I am going to need is a. Excuse me. Is I'll need my pins. Yep. I'm going to need, I believe, 4 of these connector pins. And I also need to find, not my sheet pin, but a, I cannot remember where they put it. It's not in gears, is it? Bear with me. Jeez. Is it in my shafts? Yeah, I'll also need this shaft bushing from the shafts page. Okay, so obviously there's a lot going on here. So we're just going to work on this piecewise. So after I get all that in, I'll hit check. I accidentally added this thing. I'm going to delete it. And here's what I've got. So the first thing that I'm going to do is click on this, and I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees so that it's flat. And then I'm going to actually lock this into place by right-clicking and hitting fix on it. And then I can begin to assemble this. So first thing that I'll do is just do my regular fasten mate. I'm going to click on the inside circle of this worm gear so that I have it centered, and the end of the shaft here. And I want to offset it along the Z-axis so that it's about halfway on. And I believe that I made that about 1.5 inches. No, that's 1.5 centimeters. So it's about halfway on. And then we can always work with that later. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put these corner connectors on here, such that this piece here, like this curved piece, is facing inside, and these are flat against here. So I'm going to use my fasten mate, and I'll come in here and I will connect this circle to this hole here. And obviously it's upside down, so I'll want to flip that. And then I want to reorient this. And when I do that, so this might happen to you. When I do that, I'm going to see that I actually don't want it on that circle. I'm going to delete this and place it on this one instead. And that way it'll line up where I need it. And I can hit check. And so I'll do the same thing with this guy here on the opposite side. So I think I want that. And sometimes you just kind of have to play around with it. So I need to flip that. And then I see that, okay, whoops, not on the right place. Delete that mate connector, and I'm going to put it on here instead. Okay, so I have those set up now. Excuse me. So I want to reference my drawing. The next thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to put these pin connectors into here. So basically, like these pin connectors, what they would do in real life, like they're kind of like push connections. I pushed them in, and because they're sort of tapered, as I push it in, it allows it to stick in. It kind of makes one of those interference fits that we talked about a while ago. So I'll choose my fasten mate. And then I'm going to click on here so that I see that this mate connector pops up. And I'm going to put that right here. Okay. And then I'll do the same thing, fasten mate, with this one. I want to select this. I might need to turn it. I need to select this sort of far left mate connector. And I'll put that right here. And I'll hit check. And I'll just real quick, I'll do that to the other side too. So fasten mate. And I'll click on this. And I'll put that right here. And one more. Excuse me. Fasten mate again. And I'll make sure that I'm selecting this. And I think I actually might have to flip this one around when I do this, actually. I'll put that right here. Flip that. Yep. There we go. All right. So now I have this completed. And next thing I'm going to do is put my my 4x4 plates on. So I'll hit fasten. And I will select the back left hand of this one. Right? And I will place that on. Whoops. Zoomed in too far. Sort of the same type of mate connector here. And I will hit check. And that way it looks like it's nice and fastened in there. And again, I will hit my fasten mate. And I will select this guy. And put it on the corresponding pin connector here. and hit check. So now I've got a couple of sub-assemblies done. Um, the last part of this that I'm going to add on here is I'll put this brushing down where it needs to go. I just have to check real quick where that's at. So it looks like it's, if I look at this corner here, this front right corner, it's one more point in. So let me go ahead. That would be this one right here. So we're going to make a fasten mate with essentially this part is what would sit flush to my base plate. And I will put that right here. And it's going the wrong way, so I'll just have to flip it. And now it's going the right way. Actually, you know what I'll do? Now that I'm thinking about the geometry of this, I didn't do that in the last one. I'm going to switch this fasten. I'm going to edit this, and I'm going to make that a revolute instead. Because I need that, I'm actually going to need that piece to spin with this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is fasten this length here. I'm going to select the end of this. And I need to fasten it inside of here. So you see how these sort of 3 dots pop up? I want to make sure that my mate connector, see how I can kind of shift it up, up, middle, down. I want to make sure it's on the furthest down one and then flip my axis. That way, because, this thing would actually slide into there and fit in, and then hit check on that because the shaft isn't going to be able to rotate in that square peg, but this bushing will be able to rotate, so we'll do it like that. And then we're pretty much almost done. So it's a lot of parts, but really, what do we have? We've got 10 different fastens and 1 revolute. Okay, so this last one that we're gonna do, if you look at this, they have like a rigid. This is a revolute. This is a revolute. This is a cylindrical. We're gonna add a cylindrical mate, and we're not gonna add this other revolute mate. That's not gonna be completely necessary for us. So select your cylindrical. That allows a sliding motion and a rotation. And we are going to select the end of this shaft and the inside here. Actually, you know what? I'll do it on the outside. I don't think it'll really matter, to be honest, but we're going to put it like this. And we're not going to need to offset anything because when I hit check, I'll actually be able to just pull. Yeah, my screen lagged a little bit. I'll be able to pull this and drag it to the position that I need it. So now I have my worm gear on there. Okay, and then last, I just need to fasten my spur gear onto my shaft, and then I'll kind of just have to play around with the offset on it. So I'll need to offset this along the z-axis. I think it'll be negative, and I'll just kind of have to play around with the placement. Okay, well, 1 inch looks like it might have just worked. I mean, whoops. Hold on, gotta back up. Yeah, I mean, 1 inch. 1 inch definitely worked there. Yeah. So 1 inch, and then if I look closely in here, actually those look fine, don't they? Let me set this. Oh, hold on. Nope. Negative 1 inch. Sorry. And let me close out of that just so I can view this a little bit better. Yeah. So okay. So I can see if we look at this, my teeth are running into the worm gear. I'm gonna want to clean that up a little bit. And the way I'm gonna do that is actually by hitting this revolute. and going to the offset on that. And we are going to, I think if I just change this. Yeah. Okay, so that was obviously too much. We're going to change the rotation angle. Oh, you know what? It's not. Hold on. Let me animate this. Okay, so that is what we need. Maybe we'll just leave it how it is. And actually, you know what we could do is just slide this a little bit. That'll be the easier way to do it. Yeah, just if yours are teeth are running into it a little bit, just slide that cylindrical so that they're not butting into each other. And then the last thing that we need is to relate my, as this gear turns, I need this gear to turn as well. So I want to relate, I'm going to do my gear relation, and I'm going to relate my cylindrical and my revolute. And we can just leave the relation ratio as 1 for this. And then we can see when I animate my revolute joint. So ideally, if you think about this mathematically, my worm gear turning like this, obviously this gear wouldn't be turning that quickly. I can see if they give us a hint in here as to what to make it. Enter the angles for each joint. Yeah. Well, I'll be honest with you. Off the top of my head, I do not know what the relation ratio would be between these two things. So if you got it as far as this, I am fine with that. But that's how you put it together. So hope that this video helped you. I know I rambled a little bit during it. But as long as when you hit this animate on here, as long as these are moving together, we're good. We could, if you go to this gear 1, you could change the relation ratio if you'd like, and try to figure that out. I'll leave that up to you. Thanks, and hope that this video helped you. Bye.